Are you ready to flourish in your third act? Well, I know Diane Lukic is, and she joins us now from Flourishing in Your Third Act. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, and I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Oh, you're always allowed. Don't think you're always welcome here. You always have such great things to talk about. You have an event coming up. I want to hit on that right off the top. You have a luncheon coming up on June 27th. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. That's our annual summer luncheon. It kind of ends the season, and we get together and have a nice luncheon buffet. But we're making it fun this year. We're going to have a hat contest.
Yes, you're wearing your own hat, but we have hats in the picture. It's a little hat contest.
So we thought we'd have prizes for the prettiest hat, the ugliest hat, whatever. We'll figure it out. But it's going to be a lot of fun because fun is part of flourishing.
I would have worn a hat had I realized that was that you were going to wear your hat and do all that. But no, it is fun, and I'll say, there are so many fun little groups that do those kinds of things. We're all going to wear purple. We're the ladies who do this and that kind of thing. And it's such a conversation starter, just like, oh, where'd you get your hat? And then people just jump into things, right? It kind of really sets a tone.
That's exactly right. And it can be something simple. Mm-hmm. So what I learned this year was not from older people, but I volunteered in the first grade classroom. Mm-hmm. And I learned so much from those children about having fun and being spontaneous and simple. So the hats are simple, but like you said, wearing the color purple or anything at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right, yeah, it's PJ Day, and it's the wildest. The PJ days, when my kids were in kindergarten, it was the wildest day ever. They were all so excited to be wearing their PJs. Yeah. And it was just a whole nother kind of vibe for the room. So again, the hats,
that's a good idea for flourishing. Pajamas.
Pajama party, right? So tell me a little about flourishing in general. For folks who don't know about Flourishing in Your Third Act, what is it all about?
So about 2 years ago, when we were coming out of COVID, there was a need, I thought, for people to connect with each other at a deeper level. Mm-hmm. So not that we don't have enough clubs here in Laguna Woods. How many do we have? Over 200, right? Yeah. And I thought, but there's none like this, sort of a support group to really connect at a deeper level. Mm-hmm. So I just put an ad in the Globe, and I was astounded at the number of people who responded. And then we did a survey and said, what is it that you're looking for? Mm-hmm. And they said, we're looking for a deep connection, talking about topics at a deeper level, not just superficial small talk, but really getting to know each other. Okay. So
is it and it's kind of like a sense, I think you say it's never too late to begin again, right? And that's kind of one of the themes around that.
It is all about, I am so inspired from Julia Cameron, author of The Artist's Way. Mm-hmm. She also wrote a book called It's Never Too Late to Begin Again, who this presentation is based on, her work. And I truly believe it is never too late to begin anything at all. Okay. There's so many examples.
Let's jump into that presentation that you got for us. It's a good one. We want to get on there. So reigniting a sense of wonder.
Oh, yeah. As you can see, we have an older man with a little girl. We are always the same age inside. We are. We need to let that inner child come out and play. I think this is one of the things that I myself have to really work at, is playing and being spontaneous and having fun. So I think that's a huge part of flourishing.
Yeah, if you can smile at least once a day, you're doing well.
Yeah, adults smile far less than children. The statistics are amazing, of the differences.
And how about reigniting a sense of freedom? What does that mean? We're free, we're already retirees.
We are free to do whatever we please, right? Sometimes limiting beliefs hold us back. I don't want to appear goofy or silly. Who cares? No one really cares anyway. So that sense of freedom, as we say here, she refused to be bored chiefly because she wasn't boring. We don't want to be boring. That's why I like that yellow coat she's wearing.
Absolutely. And that's Zelda F. Scott Fitzgerald's wife, and they were a wild bunch in their day.
Yeah, they were not boring, were they?
They were anything but boring, 100%. Reigniting a sense of connection, and that, like you talked about coming out of COVID, is a really good point that you wanted to make.
So I think that's really the most important part. It's just, there's so much. We are so connected with each other. And when we get together in these small, intimate groups, we have small breakout groups, we realize how alike we are. And we focus on how connected and alike. Because people get together with people they've never met before, and they realize, oh my God, we're both from New York. We both like opera or whatever it is, and there's an interconnectedness that happens in these small breakout groups that people really enjoy.
And I think in this community especially, people have a connection with their significant other, and when that person is lost, the connection, that sense of absolute loneliness, I think, can overwhelm some people, the depression that goes in there. And so they have to figure out new ways to make connections and be part of something again.
That is so true. I'm so glad you mentioned loneliness, because that is an epidemic in the United States. It's an epidemic, even here in Laguna Woods, where one wouldn't think it would be. There are so many people that don't even know why they're lonely or what to do about it. But I think there's a certain element of risk involved. And often as we get older, we become more risk adverse. So going to that club for the first time
Putting yourself out there is a big thing. Even at any age, it feels, you still feel so vulnerable sometimes, right?
Yeah, that's it. Taking an art class for the first time, because I start comparing. Oh gosh, mine's not as good as theirs.
Comparison is the death of joy.
It is.
How about reigniting a sense of purpose? If someone, like we said, if there's some big change in their life, they don't know who they are anymore, they've retired, a significant other is gone, something like that, and they don't know who they are anymore.
This is the #1 most Googled question. What is my sense of purpose? What is my purpose in life? Philosophers struggle with that forever. It's not a big thing. It's little things. It's being joyful. It's smiling at people in the grocery store. It's being of service. It's finding what you truly love. So I just recently, for the first time, took an art class in home decor. Just started last week. And it has just reignited me with passion about decorating ideas and doing things on our deck to begin with. So
fun.
Creating it. So it's just that this passion comes out when you find something. So I encourage people to try things out of their comfort zone too, especially things they don't think they're going to like.
There's going to be new tchotchkes at Diane's house very soon. All right, how about reigniting a sense of honesty? And what does that exactly mean?
Oh, honesty.
Is it with yourself, with others, or everybody?
That's authenticity. Authentic, who am I really? And so that's dealing with change. And that's probably one of the most difficult things in life. But I myself am a Gemini, so I'm like the chameleon who thrives on change. So my poor husband, of course. You moved the furniture again.
Now this week you're an artist.
Next week you're writing class. Now what are you doing? I can't keep track of you. So it's really finding your authentic self, and that's a risk to that. And I think that's why sometimes I teach a writing class, and often people are so hesitant because they don't think they're a good writer. And so, getting rid of all those limiting beliefs about being good or bad. We are all amazing.
Now, when you think of flourishing, you don't think of humility, but that's a little bit of part of it too? A sense of humility?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is, because we don't want to be out there bragging about things. We want to be humble, have a certain humbleness about us.
Right.
A truthfulness
experience and
about.
enjoying something is different than bragging, right?
That's right.
If you're really enjoying
no one likes
something,
a bragger, do
no one
they?
likes a brag, no.
I am the very best artist in Laguna Woods.
Yes, unless you're talking about your grandkids, then it's okay to brag. How about a sense of resilience? And that's
that's
again,
the biggest one.
When we go through things, that resilience is tested.
Resilience, I think, is at the top of the list, because I was just talking to a friend yesterday. We were walking on the Serpentine Trail, and we were talking about how many friends have cancer or Alzheimer's. And I think, really realizing and thriving in spite of those changes and the decline of the physical body and impending death. We never talk about death in America. But we're all going to die at some day.
The mortality rate on Earth is 100%.
That's right. And death acceptance is an important part of that. I really like it, to accept that we're not, and that makes you enjoy life even more.
And then I was going to say, that's the flourishing part, right? Well, if I only have a certain amount of time, if there's a ticking clock on this, then let me get out there and enjoy while I can.
That's right, and flourish right now in this moment, no matter what's going on.
I don't think you have a problem with this one, but what about reigniting a sense of joy?
Oh my God. I love joy. I wake up in the morning joyful. It doesn't take a lot, though. A cup of coffee makes me joyful. So it's not a lot that makes it. And the sun. Oh my God, I'm so happy to see the sun. And living in Southern California, come on, how can you not be joyful?
Absolutely. And your husband, I'm guessing, has reignited his sense of patience with you.
That is true. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have him watch this. He does have to be patient with this woman, this chameleon wife. Although we do the jazz club, too, so we do that one together.
Now, flourishing, I would imagine, has a lot to do with motion. Get yourself moving into something, right? And just move every day in some way, shape, or form, no matter what your maybe limitations might be.
That's right. And it could be doing chair, we have a lot of chair yoga and things like that. You can just watch on Channel 6. You can be right in your living room and do stretching and different exercises. But that's really, my doctor said that's what he spends all day talking to people about, is getting exercise. I thought he'd say eating healthy. He said, no, it's exercise.
Darn it.
I'm over there at the fitness center every morning, so.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people feel like as I'm aging, the vitality wanes, but you're also saying we have to kind of rediscover that sense of vitality.
Yeah, and as we can see from our slide, it's not the length of your life, it's the depth of your life.
I like that.
So I love that. So it's not so much that I'm going to live to be 110, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to make the most of each day, and really that involves mindfulness and enjoying each moment, waking up, looking at the birds out there, hearing the sounds, enjoying that cup of coffee. I think mindfulness is key. Yeah.
And I know you don't have a problem with this one either, a sense of adventure.
No, no, I don't have a problem with that. You know, skydiving, scuba diving, but of course we don't do quite as many of those adventurous things as much, but I love trying new things. And it doesn't have to be a risky thing. It could be trying a new, Julie always wants you to go to a new restaurant or try something new. Once a week, go somewhere you've never been. Different grocery store, different restaurant, take a different route, and it ignites that in you, that sense of adventure.
Okay, and we're running out of time, but I want to hit that last one for sure, and it's an important one, the sense of faith.
Sense of faith. I
Whatever
don't know
that
how
faith
we
might
can do
be.
it without it. Faith
Right.
is knowing that universe has our back. Universe is there, and we put out those positive thoughts. At least I find that to be true in my life. The more positive I think, the more positivity comes to me.
Absolutely. Let's hit that brochure one more time. Flourishing in your third act invites you to the summer hat luncheon. Make
right.
sure you bring a hat. It's going to be June 27th, Clubhouse 2, 1:30 to 3 o'clock. And folks can get out in there for a cost of $15.
That's right. It's going to be a lot of fun.
A great community of people wearing really cool hats.
That's right. We'll take lots of pictures.
Diane, thank you so much. Flourishing in the Village. We appreciate you being here. Flourishing in your third act. We are making it happen.
Thank you for having me here. I so appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's great talking to you. You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.